I lingered near the entrance of the auditorium, hidden just outside the warm circle of light cast by the stage lamps. The air was dense with the scent of inexpensive cologne, and the unspoken weight of ambition filled the room. Proud parents packed the rows, their faces glowing as cameras flickered like distant stars on a cold night. Then her name was announced, valedictorian, recipient of the Science Award, student body president. My daughter walked onto the stage with a grace that made it seem like she'd lived there her whole life. For a brief moment, my balance faltered. The young woman standing beneath those lights felt like both my daughter and a stranger, shaped by forces I could feel but hadn't controlled. A tightness pressed against my chest. And then she smiled, too sharp, too deliberate, and spoke into the microphone. "Tonight," she said, voice clear and bright, "I have a special award to present, a surprise for someone who's always made an impression." Laughter rippled through the audience. I felt it sting my skin like static. She lifted a small plastic trophy, its gleam slicing under the stage lights. "The most cringe-worthy dad award," she declared. The crowd erupted into laughter and applause. Even from where I stood, I could see my ex-wife clapping eagerly. Her partner joined in, their high five cutting the air like a blade. My chest burned, but I kept my silence. I refused the trophy, avoided her gaze, and quietly walked out, hiding the moisture gathering in my eyes. The next morning, my phone buzzed nonstop with her calls. I didn't answer. She hadn't expected me to disappear. She didn't yet understand what she had triggered. I had once sat with her every morning, braiding her hair while the sweet scent of fruit shampoo filled the air. She used to call me Daddy Mastermind when I fixed her science fair displays, always in front row of every play, soccer game, and recital, rain or shine. I was there. I baked her birthday cakes from scratch. But after the divorce, small shifts began. Missed visits, shortened calls, awkward silences. My ex-wife's world offered her more: wealth, influence, and polished surfaces. And with that came the subtle erosion of my place in her life. "Your dad means well, but he's kind of embarrassing, they'd say. He tries hard, but let's keep things classy," came the whispers. Little by little, they redrew me in her eyes. She began pulling away, brushing off my hugs in public, rolling her eyes at my worn shoes. Once, before a soccer match, she asked me not to come, said it made things uncomfortable. I let it go, until that night on the stage, until that hollow trophy shattered something inside me. 3 days later, I moved, not for custody or court battles. Those were long lost, but for something far sharper, the truth. I hired a private investigator, a discreet professional who slipped through digital footprints without leaving his own. We collected evidence, bank statements, emails, transaction records. What surfaced sliced deep. My ex-wife had stolen our daughter's college fund, money I had built for her since her first breath, and funneled it into her husband's failing ventures. My daughter, trusting them, believed her fund was thriving under smart management. The lie was elaborate, but fragile. I nudged it to collapse. It started with a plain envelope left on my daughter's desk during her final exam. Inside, financial statements, loan documents, a snapshot of that stage moment, and a handwritten note. "Shine bright, kid. They've already spent your future." Simultaneously, I sent the scholarship committee a package of fraudulent forms. The falsified documents her mother had submitted to inflate financial aid. It was blatant fraud, impossible to ignore. By evening, her scholarship was revoked, and the fallout began like controlled demolition. Late that night, she appeared at my door. Her face was streaked with tears, hair tangled, drowning in a sweatshirt. No stage lights, no applause. Only her. "You did this," she accused, voice trembling. I neither denied nor justified. She broke, shouting, sobbing, hurling accusations. When the storm ebbed, I answered, calm as a surgeon's cut. "You made a mockery of me for laughs. I don't care about my pride. I care about what's real. They stole from you. They lied. I exposed it. I showed her the forged loan applications, the siphoned funds, the debts now tied to her name." She froze, hand shaking, breath short. Within weeks, my ex-wife faced criminal investigations: embezzlement, identity theft, financial fraud, tax evasion. Her husband vanished. disappeared without warning, leaving her behind in the wreckage. My daughter stayed, not because I demanded it, because she saw. She saw beneath the glossy surface they'd painted for her. It wasn't some neat, perfect reunion. I didn't want apologies. I didn't need them. Weeks passed. One evening, she knocked gently on my door. In her hands, a small iron trophy. No label, no inscription, just solid, weighty metal. "I made this in shop class," she said quietly. "It doesn't undo what happened, but you deserve something real." I accepted it and placed it between us, not on a shelf, not on display, simply there. "I didn't do this to punish you," I told her softly. "I did it so you know where truth lives. It doesn't seek applause. There's an emptiness inside me now where the limitless love once burned. But I'm not angry. I'm awake." She calls me Dad again. Not mockingly, not for show. She asks questions now, no longer assumes. And sometimes in the quiet, I catch her eyes searching, as if reaching for a fragment of what we used to have. Maybe she'll find it, maybe not. But one thing remains unshaken. They thought their mockery would break me. Instead, I dismantled their illusion with nothing but truth.